I'm not gonna lie, I really did not realize how harmful and toxic this red pill and manosphere stuff has really rotted so many young men's brains. Like, truly. And one talking point I'm really getting tired of hearing is, oh, there's some good things in the red pill. No, there's not. Telling young men to clean up their room and to dress nice and to have confidence and to work out. That's just common sense. It's just common sense. You don't need to watch a bunch of motivational red pill videos in order to know that. The majority of y'all watch that red pill stuff because it makes you feel good to see a bunch of fake alpha male tough guys crap on women. That's the only reason why a lot of y'all watch it. It's not to self-improve. Stop it.
So guys, in this video, we are going to be seeing men admitting that red pill has caused more harm than good. It has ruined them, it has ruined their relationships, and they are basically calling it out. They are calling out the red pill content. Let me not trouble too much in the beginning. Let's get into it.
Fuck how you feel, homie. We all know that red pill content creates incel. We all know this shit. This is not something that's hidden under a rock. We all know that a lot of men who ingest that red pill bullshit are incels. And for the people that keep telling me that red pill was not intended for this, the original red pill was not like this, please shut the fuck up. Doesn't matter what it was intended to be. Look at what it is now. Look at what it's done. You understand what I'm saying? Look how these men are emotionally unstable. They're dangerous. You can't have a conversation with these red pill demons without them being triggered by something. They're always triggered by something on the internet. They're in these comments arguing with these women. They see a random girl. You know what I'm saying? In the comments, if she looks too pretty, if she's half dressed, whatever, they're in the comments arguing. Nobody's gonna want you in 10 years. Just triggered by shit. Something is wrong with them. And then the older men, that's like mid 30s, late 40s, 50s, something is completely wrong with them. It's so many of them in that space. You know what I'm saying? So many men that have really taken on this red pill and it has really destroyed y'all. Y'all are fucked up. And then y'all are hypocrites because y'all are the ones paying for the OF models. Y'all are the ones buying hoes. Y'all are the ones buying sex. It is you guys. But for a group of men that just don't like promiscuous activity, y'all don't fuck with that shit at all. Y'all sure do fund that shit so much. Y'all put a lot of your hard-earned money into that industry. Y'all idolize women way too much. Your whole movement as far as red pill from when it started to now, I don't give a fuck, has been about women. It has been about women since the beginning because lame ass motherfuckers couldn't get them. So it's been the same thing. And the reason why it's so funny is because it still ain't working. The method that the red pill motherfuckers came up with is still not working. If you fuck with some of the shit they saying, you're a cornball. If you're red pill adjacent, you're a cornball. If you just happen to be in red pill spaces, you're a cornball. Doesn't matter. The shit just is not player at all. That's why, like, the shit just don't make sense. So for all you motherfuckers who really want to glow up, like, you got to get out those red pill spaces. They are fucking up your mind.
Now, I was a person that used to be in the red pill community. I was a person that used to be in this alpha male space. And let me tell you, it destroys you. It destroys you. It destroys your life. I cut off so many people because I thought they were not good enough. I thought they didn't have the mentality to become millionaires, to become successful people, to have all this money, to have all these possessions. I became so derogatory and disrespectful towards women because you have this notion, you have this belief that women are to be quiet, that women are not supposed to talk back, that women are not supposed to argue, and that women can't debate. But let me tell you something. Because of that, I lost so many friends. Because of that, I went through like embarrassment socially. A lot of people saw me in a different light, and to be honest, it's justifiable. The way I was behaving was uncalled for. It was not godlike. It was not nice. And this is the thing that I want people to understand. This red pill stuff is for people to make profit. All these people like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, and all these other red pill content creators, the reason why they do stuff like this is to profit from getting young men that are vulnerable, that may be hurt from a past relationship or from their family issues or whatever, or from their childhood, and making them into intolerable human beings. Do you understand? Or it could be that people like, for example, Fresh and Fit, the people in Fresh and Fit, they were hurt from a previous relationship, and they project, instead of healing and becoming more mature and understanding to whether to discern a woman who's virtuous from a woman who's promiscuous, they end up projecting that out to the world, their frustration, their hurt, that you see them arguing with like promiscuous women on panels and shutting them down, getting upset at them, saying whatever they want to them, because at the end of the day, that's how they deal with their trauma. And you don't want to be one of those guys that deals with their trauma by projecting negativity and hurt onto other people. You want to be someone who's mature. You want to be someone who's calm. You want to be someone who's gentle, who's kind. Yes, of course, have that assertiveness, have that self-control, have that intuition, have that determination. But at the same time, you don't need to be overly aggressive. You don't need to be derogatory towards women. You don't need to be narcissistic and self-conceited. You can self-improve. You can heal from your wounds. You can heal from your trauma without engaging in any of that toxic content. So don't do what I did and make that mistake and destroy your life. I'm telling you, don't destroy your life.
Guys, first of all, for one, I want to applaud these men for actually taking accountability and realizing that the red pill content is not good for them. I don't know if you guys have actually taken time to listen to this red pill content. Guys, when I tell you this stuff is crazy, and most of these men want to come on, you know, women's channels and say that, oh, this is also female red pill. It's nothing. Like, you can't compare the red pill content to the content that women create. I'm telling you the truth. These men be on red pill podcasts telling men to sleep around with as many women as possible, telling men to control women. A woman should never speak back at you. A woman has no opinion. A woman is supposed to be as submissive as it gets, you know. Like, there is a way they want to teach men that women are way below them and they have all the powers over women, are allowed to treat women as sex toys as long as they have money and they are providing. That is what these men are preaching on the red pill podcast. And then they get bitter when women try to come out and warn fellow women and enlighten them on all these weird characters of men. They begin saying we are also, you know, red pillars, but in the female form. This is nowhere compared to red pill, guys. The things that these guys teach on the red pill podcast is crazy. It is crazy. It is out of this world. And I am so glad that some men are actually awakening.
Never ever listen to red pill if you're a man. Stay away from that industry. It's going to ruin you and your life and your future forever. And the craziest thing is, there was a point in time where me and a lot of people I know used to follow this red pill stuff until I actually grew a pair of balls. Only a real man and only a real father or husband, right, can actually look after their family, maintain their masculinity, and have everything in check. Understanding that your woman has a role in your life and that they are actually not a burden on you. And of course, you have to be able to pick the right woman. I'm someone who's been married and I've got a child now, alhamdulillah, right? And one thing I can tell you, the right partner will make your life so much easier. And this red pill nonsense makes you look at women as if they're objects, etc. I'm not making this video to say, oh look, he's just doing it for the women. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm married, I have a child, I'm happy. But this is for a lot of young people that look at women a different way. Yes, the wrong woman can absolutely ruin your life, and I stand by that 100%. But you boys need to pick better women, and by that I mean improving yourself. If you're not a type of person that can attract the woman that you want, how can you get the woman that you want to be standing by your side for the rest of your life, to look after your children, to take care of you and each other? And trust me, real masculinity is having a family, being a good father, being a good inspiration for just that one person and your offspring. And if you're a man who wants to learn and lead by example, be sure to follow.
What's good, fam? So like, I used to love red pill content a lot. For some of y'all that ain't familiar with red pill content, it's Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, that type of content, yeah. Masculinity type of content. It's good content, but at times, man, if you overwatch the red pill content, bro, you get so much into that space that getting out is going to be hard for you, fam. And it's good to be within your masculine self, but sometimes you also have to be human, fam. This content will make you savage. I think I should first break down the origin of red pill content and all that stuff, yeah. So apparently, There is a red pill and blue pill in the Matrix movie, yeah. The red pill is for you to wake up from all the woke garbage, all the bullshit, social media, what, lies, propaganda, all that crap that has been piled onto you to the level that you've become an NTC, right? Those things, those characters in video games that don't do shit, yeah, they're just there, yeah. Their purpose is to just be there in the game, yeah. According to the red pill space, if you swallow the red pill, you become awakened from the matrix. You break out of the matrix. You start seeing the world as it actually is. The reality of the world as it is. You start seeing, you come to that realization. Apparently, if you swallow the blue pill, you continue with your false reality, the delusion, the bullshit that is propaganda into your head by liberal media. So basically, that's a practical summary of what red pill content is all about, yeah. Red pill content is good, but too much of red pill content can lead to being savage for no reason, fam. As a man, you need red pill content to be there, but it needs to be limited, fam. That's all I can say.
I cannot date a man that likes red pill content because red pill content is ruining the lives of young men. A lot of men are so afraid of being labeled a simp.
This is facts, bro. A lot of y'all get your advice on what women want from other men. What makes you think that a man is gonna know more about what a woman wants than a woman herself? I promise you, you will not look like a simp if you bring a girl flowers, if you take her out, if you pay for stuff, if you make her feel special on the daily. Now, if she does something to break your heart, she is just a bad person. But the majority of women just want to be treated well. And I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. I know that. But one thing I do know is I would never, ever listen to red pill content. That is the blind leading the blind. If you watch some of that stuff, would you ever want a man, if you have a daughter, would you ever want a man to speak to your daughter the way some of these guys talk about women? Legitimately showing that you care does not mean that you're a simp.
The fact that some of these men feel like treating a woman right is being a simp. You know, they even shame men that treat their women good. They call them simps and stuff. They think for you to be an alpha male, you must be disrespectful towards women. You must not treat women right. Don't buy her flowers. Don't listen to her. Don't consider her feelings. Then now you're an alpha male. Like, who tells these men that that is what women are attracted to? This red pill content makes these men think that women are attracted to men that are mean to them. Women are attracted to men that talk to them in a way that is negative, men that don't cater to their feelings, men that disrespect them. That's what they are taught. They are taught to disrespect women, not show their vulnerable side, be as hard and as tough as it gets towards women. Little do you know that most women are not attracted to that. Women want men who treat them right. Women want men with emotional intelligence. And they are shocked when they come to the dating scene and it's not working for them. What these red pill guys told them ain't working for them because women don't actually like that.
These young men are told you need to look a certain way, make a certain amount of money in order to find a relationship. You're taught that they have a submissive place in society, phrases like women belong in the kitchen.
I'm worried for young men because if this is what they're seeing and they're not getting dates and this kind of content is going to continue to keep them single, this stuff is very pervasive. And if this young man can recognize it, I don't know why some of the 30, 40, 50-year-old men that are in my comments can't notice it. The way in which the algorithm pushes red pill content out to young men is well documented. There's a book called Men Who Hate Women that I think is one of the best research projects around how quickly people are fed red pill. A young man, as young as you see in this video, is being told women should be submissive and they belong in the kitchen. There is such an overlap between guys who watch red pill content and the guys who want to repeal the 19th Amendment so women can't vote. These men are being told how to be men, and this standard of how to be men is really gonna hurt these guys in the long run.
The more I look at this incel shit, I'm so confused because it's like, did you guys forget that like the funny dude gets the girl? Like the funny dude, the fun guy, the caring dude, like they get the girl whether they're attractive, whether they're rich, whether they're broke, whether they're literally anything. The person with an actual fucking personality and some connection to their own humanity, more times than not, can connect to the other human being better than the person who just indoctrinates himself with bullshit all day. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. To a certain extent, Yes, we need to help each other, but a lot of this fucking incel shit is self-inflicted, bro. And it's letting trauma just rot inside of your heart, bro, and destroy your fucking brain. These male influencers and whatnot you look up to are paying for ads to promote themselves, because organically people don't really care about that shit. And even if they do, they're paying for the aesthetic of their life, meaning they're paying for access to the women in their life. They're paying for the network of boys or bros they hang out with. And the second those relationships stop becoming good on business contracts, they start releasing those relationships. These people don't give a fuck about anybody. They don't even give a fuck about the people they're hanging around. And they don't even give a fuck about themselves. So you think that out of all of that not giving a fuck about anything, almost like sociopathic behavior, you think they're going to step out of their way to care about your trauma and your issues that you aren't taking responsibility for? Or do you think that they're actually trying to prey on you and your own ignorance so they can make some money off you, money that you could be spending investing in your own life, investing in your own circumstances, and bettering yourself, at least your awareness, so you don't fall victim and prey to that shit? I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is why I feel like it's so much easier to just drag guys into that red pill trauma bonding shit than it is to actually try to create communities outside of it. Because so much of the work that has to be done is dudes forcing themselves out of that shit and saying, you know what, even if I'm the only one that doesn't think like the rest of them, I'm willing to stand on this because this is what my own internal moral compass is telling me. But a lot of you guys are insecure as fuck. You're not confident, bro. And like, you're not confident believing in yourself. So you have to just sit there and just like, if you're not promoting the bullshit that these other dudes are promoting, you have to just sit there and just let them say whatever they want to hope that they validate you or you can get like a laugh off with them. My God, bro.
That's why I believe that the male loneliness epidemic is actually self-inflicted. Like, the men are causing it upon themselves. If you don't stop listening to all this red pill content, you're going to remain lonely. Like, I hate to break it to you, but no woman wants a man that does not respect women. No man wants a man that talks to women as though they are, you know, a piece of crap. Like, you have to work on yourself and, you know, treat women with respect. And I hate the fact that sometimes we have to tell men, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your sister? Like, why does it have to first be an example of someone you actually care about, someone you're related to, for you to realize that you actually have to respect women? Like, why don't you just respect women for the mere fact that they are human beings? Why do we have to always bring up the example of, oh, if this was your sister, if it were your, you know, your child, like, how would you feel if a man was talking to her like that?
Yeah, I was cheated on, and that led to some very, very unhealthy opinions. Now, this was back in 2012, and in 2012, Red Pill was just a subreddit that not too many people knew. You know, there was no crazy movement. There was no huge YouTubers. There was no Sneeko. There was no Andrew Tate. Some guy named like Gay Lube Oil or something thought he was funny. And the problem is it came across as rational. It starts off as a journey to self-improvement, which I think everybody needs, especially men, you know? It preys on you. Men aren't cared for, right? It preys on our insecurities. Nobody cares about what you do unless you're providing for them. Nobody loves you for being you, only for what value you can bring them in your life. You are a man, and you have to accept that. And, you know, even to this day, it's been, I guess, 10 years now, 11 years now. There's still some things that fundamentally are stuck in my head about my own masculinity. And I think I've personally done a good job of moving away from it. But, you know, these things, it's taken this long to retrain a lot of my feelings and a lot of my understandings of the world. What you really have is a group that's preaching superiority. And they say, oh, we don't hate women, we love women, but we're preaching for true women. These are not true women. Women are different now. they're sluts, they're whores, they don't do anything but hop around, and they're not worth your time, and they don't do this. And it's like,
let me tell you, a man will get heartbroken by one woman and he will swear for the rest of his life to treat every woman he gets with the utmost wickedness. And it's like, do you think you're the only people that get heartbroken? Women are always getting heartbroken. Like, women get way more heartbroken than men. I'm sorry to break it to you. Women experience it worse. Honestly, if we are being honest, women experience DV way more than men. Women are SA'd way more than men. You know, women are disrespected the most. You could be walking down minding your business and a man is already throwing insults at you. You know, like, I feel like women really have it harder out here, but the men feel like just because they experience something that women are always experiencing, you know, 10 times more than them, then now they have a right to become wicked and treat every woman with disrespect. The same way you were cheated on by a woman, it's the same way so many women are being cheated on by other men. I'm not saying that makes it right, but that doesn't, you know, give you the right to treat every woman henceforth with, you know, the utmost disrespect. Like, women are also going through it out here. That's why you see so many women on the internet coming out to, you know, talk to their fellow women because they are having it hard. You know, we also have it hard. And if I'm being honest, I feel like we have it worse. Like, honestly, we have it worse.
Let me wrap this red pill shit up. When it comes to this red pill shit, the end goal for all these young, lonely men is to make money off you, to profit off of you. Why every time they trying to give you advice, they got to sell you some course or some ebook? This game right here I'm finna give you is free. You can go to the gym, you can buy a new car, you can do all that shit, try to make money, do all that shit. But if your foundation isn't secure, if your foundation isn't strong, what is your foundation? Your mind. If your mind and your mental isn't right and you try to build on weak soil, you try to build on crumbling soil, everything is always going to fall, homie. It doesn't matter if you in the gym working out. It doesn't matter if you doing all this shit. If your mental isn't right, if you're not working on your mental, fuck everything else. You build on the foundation on unstable soil. So of course you're going to keep going through this loophole, going through these relationships, going through all this bullshit. It's going to be like, it's over and over again. You're like, damn, why can't I get out this cycle? Because you haven't done the real work you need to do, which is on your mental health. You can sit here and listen to these old motherfuckers all day and let them make you resent women. Women are not the problem. The problem is you. You have no discipline and you don't have standards. You don't respect yourself. That's the main thing. That's why a lot of people go over the red pill. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to learn how to have some self-respect. But they don't teach you how to have self-respect. They teach you how to blame everybody else for your shortcomings. That's what be happening. So before you out there pointing the finger, make sure that, hey, did I go do the right things? Did I go to therapy? Did I go do what I needed to do? Why am I bringing all this baggage every time I get into a new relationship? Always bringing baggage, always bringing baggage. One thing an OG said to me, and I'll never let that shit go, homie. He said this right here. It don't matter where you go, how far you try to run, where you try to hide. Wherever you go, you bring yourself with you. So all those problems that you think you left, when you ran away, they still there with you because you bring yourself. So it's better for you to work on yourself, right? As far as mental, physical, all that, but mental first, mental and spiritually, work on yourself, because a lot of you motherfuckers, y'all got an issue, man. Y'all listen to these old niggas, they got an issue, but I promise you, for my generation, I'm 23 years old, for the love of God, homie, let that red pill shit go. Y'all gonna be fucked up. Y'all gonna be like these old men, fucked up, worried about what every woman is doing on TikTok and Instagram, always commenting, you know what I'm saying? Just being weird as hell. Let that shit go, G.
Like, another issue is men don't want to go to therapy. Most of them feel like therapy is for women. Therapy means you're weak. They don't want to work on themselves. They would rather take the other route of being, you know, red pillars, other than working on themselves and being better men. Like, honestly, I for one, most of the people I see on the internet that, you know, are open to go to therapy, talking about, you know, working on themselves and stuff, they are usually women. It is rare to find a man who believes that he will benefit from therapy. It is so rare to find a man saying that he's going to work on himself, you know, take some time off dating, work on himself, get to learn himself and stuff. It is so rare. It is always the women that are working on themselves and stuff. If only men take that route, if men learn to work on themselves, other than, you know, projecting their anger and their insecurities onto women, I feel like the dating scene would be much better. Like, honestly, just work on yourself. Take some time to work on yourself. You're not the perfect human being you think you are, and not everything is, you know, as a result of women being bad and stuff. Sometimes you're the problem. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought of working on yourself as a man? Like, really working on yourself, understanding yourself, understanding your weaknesses, understanding your toxic traits and how you can better yourself? That is a conversation most men don't want to have.
So I wanted to respond to this comment on another video because I've been able to successfully pull my little brother out of that little red pill pipeline. Now I will say this, maybe I have a little bit of extra pull for trying to drag little boys out of the red pill pipeline, because being the toxic king, I was very red pill adjacent and pretty big in that space. But one day I go visit my mom's house and I see him sitting down watching TV. It's a YouTube video and it's one of those little gold digger pranks, right? Where a dude pretends to be broke and talks to a girl, she rejects him, and then he gets out of a Porsche and she's like, oh my God, I want to take a ride with you. And it's like, oh, I see all women are gold diggers. So I sat down and asked him, how many women do you think are gold diggers? And he said, man, probably like 70% of them, but there's like 30% that are good. So I asked him, why do you think that? He didn't have an answer. And when they don't have an answer, that's where you pound. That's when you gotta point out the contradictions and drag them back to reality. I said, little brother, how old are you? 18. In your 18 years of life, how many women have you dated? 0. In your 18 years of life, how many jobs have you had? 0. How much money have you earned working that job that you never had? Nothing. So if no experience with women, no experience with working job, and no experience in having money, that was the one, so now hit him with that too, knock his ass out. The men you see talking about this stuff, like I do with my videos, right? They make money from you watching and believing what they're saying. The reason you're watching this video, the reason it has a lot of views, is because it's playing on this stereotype and it's trying to push that idea into your head. Something that you have 0 experience with. Something that none of the men in your life who have fucking wives or girlfriends ever fucking say. The men that you look up to, the men that you respect, do not say or do any of this shit. Well, besides me as the toxic king. And that's where he stepped back and realized, like, oh shit. Ever since then, he's been extremely critical of media. He comes up to me now. I'm so fucking proud, because he said he put all that shit down, because once he started to think about it, it all sounded dumb. I think what we have to teach these boys is that the dudes who are saying this are the losers and are making them into losers. It's making them unlikable, and it will only ruin their life. And it's not hard to spot because it's full of contradictions. All you need to do, pull on that one thread and it all unravels. I'm lucky that I got him young enough and that he's impressionable enough when it comes to me that he instantly listened. I don't know if it's possible for women to break through that, but us men, especially the men who have the respect of the youth, need to stand the fuck up and say something. It is possible. We can save these young boys.
Not gonna lie, if you the type to think that like all women or even majority of women cheat or they just want to use dudes for their money, you're using the same logic as racist. Hear me out. You taking your experience with a couple girls and now categorizing all the women in the world that way. Even if you going by what you heard or what you seen, same thing. Just for an example, let's say you took the coldest dude when it came to getting women. He has slept with hundreds of women, because anything after that, I mean, you might as well do corn. You doing it for the love of the game. But even dealing with hundreds of women, that's probably not even 1% of your whole city. Or let's say you saying, oh, well, you can see it online too. People are sharing similar experiences. Or you can go check the stats. 1 in 3 men don't even have sex. So essentially you taking this one dude who probably got hurt by one girl, and you've probably dealt with like 2 to 3 girls, and y'all gone on here sharing this opinion, and now y'all feel like this is law because y'all just dealt with 3 bad women. So all I'm saying is, if you ain't gonna let them categorize us all like that, you shouldn't be doing that with women.
The truth about Red Pill Part 1. If you don't know who the fuck I am, I'm Hendo Kwan, and I'm taking down the whole Red Pill community by my damn self. So what is the purpose of the Red Pill? These motherfuckers like to say it's about self-improvement, but it's all about trying to learn how to be some type of player, some type of Mac. Why do I say this? A lot of men go to these Red Pill spaces looking for answers about women. And a lot of these dudes believe that Red Pill knows the true nature of the woman, you know what I'm saying, for some reason. But in reality, they know jack shit. So they come to this space trying to learn how to be a Pookie, a Ray Ray, a Chad and a Brad, right? Trying to be a nigga like me, basically, how I used to be. And these Red Pill demons, like these Red Pill leaders, they basically sell them an image of masculinity. And why do I say that? So, as you can see on every Fresh and Fit podcast, right? Myron, he always brings OnlyFans models in. Only OnlyFans. On a rare occasion, he might bring somebody else in. But they're all working together because he knows his audience, right? He knows his audience and he knows what they want to see. So he talks about stats and shit, you know what I'm saying, like that. He'll tell him you'll never find a man because you work in this profession, all that, you know, all the good shit, right? The argument, it'll get a little heated, and once it gets heated, that's when he sells the image of masculinity. So this is my show, shut this shit down, you're not gonna overtalk me, blah. He does all that shit to show the men that are watching him that he's a alpha male. So basically, after they see that, they instantly like, damn, how can I control women like that? How can I do that? Where do I gotta go? Where do I gotta go to learn this method? How can I shut shit down like that? I've been dating all these women and they've been wearing the pants, they've been doing this, they've been running me around. I wanna be the pants wearer, I wanna be the head of the house. How can I do this? And that's how he gets his audience. That's how he gets them to buy shit. That's how he gets them to buy all these ebooks, buy into these programs, spend all this money, and they get nowhere. So now these men that buy all this shit, try this shit out in the real world. It doesn't work because it's all fabricated. So now they're frustrated. So now it's the woman's fault, right? It's the woman's fault because they don't want to get with the program, right? And this is where it gets funny. So how do you get the red pill to black pill pipeline? Like, how do you get there? After these guys realize that the red pill shit is a fluke, like it doesn't work, instead of admitting defeat, they go into black pill. And this is where we're going to stop. Come back.
Bro, the red pill does not make any sense. Why would you believe ideologies from men that don't like women, thinking that's going to help you in your dating life? If you learn to have the most hateful and cynical view of the opposite sex, how is that going to help you in your dating life? I just don't get it. Somebody make it make sense.
You're being lied to. It doesn't matter if she's your girlfriend or wife. She will cheat on you with somebody more successful. Fear women. Fear. Fear, 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 and then come to me so I can take that fear away and buy my course. She's not yours. It's just your turn. They don't know how to love. Listen to someone who's single like me so I can give you advice on how to not be single. I choose to be single. It's my choice. I choose to be single. Share my insecurities with me. They will cheat, and you need to know that. Ruin all your relationships and buy my course in the bio. Women only care about money. Trust me, I'm single with a lot of money. I know what I'm talking about. Course in the bio.
Of course, that previous clip was a skit, but that's exactly how these red pill content creators be telling these men, you know. And I really find it sad because I feel like there are so many young boys that actually consume this content and they take it to be truth. You know, they take it to be Bible truth, just like that guy in, you know, one clip said like his young brother had fallen victim of all this red pill content and he had to debunk all those myths, you know, from him. Like, it is so sad that these red pill content creators are spreading this, you know, hatred for women right from the young generation. And these are the men that are going to grow up. Before you know it, we have a bunch of men walking around very bitter towards women, and these are the men that actually become violent. Instead of protecting women, they are violent towards women because they don't see women as human beings. Right from the start, they have been told that women are nothing but, a bunch of losers. They believe women don't deserve to speak, women don't deserve to have an opinion. All you have to do with women is use them for sex. Just make money and they'll all come throwing themselves at you. It is so sad, guys. This content is so sad.
This is how red pill thinking cost me an amazing 10 out of 10 girlfriend. So guys, basically I met this girl at an event, a worship night. She was eyeing me down from across the room. She was actually playing an instrument in the worship band. I ended up driving home. I stopped to get gas. I checked my phone. She actually sent me a message on Instagram and was like, hey, sorry, I get really tired after I do a long set. And so I teased her back. I was like, oh yeah, hangry is a real thing. Talked for a couple weeks. I ended up being like, let's actually make this happen in person. So I planned the date. We click like immediately. We start hanging out very regularly. She ends up inviting me to one of the holidays with her family. She never shows people to her family. And then that day, after that holiday, she was like, look, what are we? Like, what do you want to do here? And then she kind of cornered me and she was like, well, would you be like open to seeing other people? And I was like, yeah, I kind of would. I would be open to seeing other people. So when I said that, she shut down. But I thought I needed to say that to maintain my masculine frame. I said that just to play the game, when in reality, I was not ready to deal with those consequences. So guys, if you're not ready to deal with the consequences, it could cost you an absolutely wonderful relationship and a wonderful girl.
I have a message for all of the young men out there. Red pill content is kind of like slowly but surely like making you softer and more unwilling to change. It's difficult to make friends as a man who does not consume red pill content. Before you react with anger or resentment towards me, please listen to what I have to say. I was a political science and psychology major in college. Not that that means a lot. I also work in the fitness space and I am a combat sports enthusiast. So I encounter a lot of this sort of content. Red pill content is often motivational and it's trying to appeal to the lowest possible emotion that you have. It's usually revolved around fear of failure, lack of value, things like that are very natural human emotions, but knee-jerk reactions are not the response to these. Being truly afraid of the unknown means that you are unwilling to understand things that are unfamiliar to you, much like a child or an infant is unfamiliar with things in the world, so its natural response is to cry. If you are afraid of failure, then you are limiting your ability to grow as a human being. Failure is a natural step in progress and success. A lot of red pill content will make you angry at third parties, other people between you, the content creator, and the outside world in an attempt to appeal to those lowest emotions that you have and try to profit off of them. They are exploiting you. This is why in the past, if you followed my page and seen my posts, I usually detest people like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, and it's not even purely from a sense of politics. These men are attempting to exploit you and your fears and your insecurities and your inability to overcome them, and running to the solace that they provide you by giving you scapegoats is not going to make you stronger in the long run. Please do your best to become better as men. I cannot take one more strange red pill narrative on my page or coming from a peer or someone I call a friend.
Here's one thing that watching too much red pill content will do to your brain or your mindset, whatever. What some content creators do, and I'm not lumping them all together, is they will speak in absolutes, like all women will cheat on you, all women will do this, and all women will do that. And I get it. When they say stuff like that, comment section goes crazy, views go crazy, I get it. But for the younger men out there who are a bit more impressionable, if you go into a relationship with a girl with she will cheat, she will do me dirty, she will screw my best friend, you probably won't have the best relationship with her because you're going into it with a negative bias. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Girls treat me great. Girls treat me very well. And since they treat me well, it's hard for me to speak in absolutes because they treat me so good. I'm just saying, if you go into it with an aggressive mindset towards them, it's going to be hard to have a good relationship with them. Remember that.
The rise of incel and the whole incel movement on this app is really concerning, considering the fact that people are watching this stuff and posting about it. Because I'll see people on this app post so much self-victimizing things, and it's always the men. It's never the women, or unless it is, I'm not on that For You page really, but it's just, it gets to a point where you're looking at it and it makes you cringe. And the people who post and repost and like and comment on this kind of content is really the ones who I'm worried about. And the thing is, guys like that are guys who watch porn all day, have patchy beards, don't go to the gym, don't exercise, and have social issues. And they think they're entitled to like some model, or they think models should go up to them. And if they don't, then women aren't good enough. And when they get rejected, they use that whole nice guys finish last and women don't like me because I'm a nice guy. When in all actuality, they're lame. They have social issues. Nobody probably likes them. They stink. They have no sense of social cues whatsoever. And they just use that whole nice guy excuse just to belittle all that. And then they claim to just swear that all women like bad guys and criminals and whatnot. And that's just not the case. You're just a guy who has no personality. You don't live your life because you just stay inside all day.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm so happy. I've been seeing videos of people talking down about the red pill dudes, because I swear to God, bro, I've been seeing these dudes since I was like 12 on the internet. And
Absolutely correct. And let me explain to you why I think the red pill movement, honestly, its death was something I expected years ago. Personal opinion, people who are constantly creating or engaging with red pill content, in my personal opinion, it's coming from a place of constant disdain and like coping mechanism for why they feel a little bit rejected by women. I think it was a safe space for men to go and vent about all of their angers and frustration and hostilities with a lot of, 1% to 5% of women, and then, act like that was 95% of the population. And it was no shock that, some of the biggest red pill content creators are those guys like Fresh and Fit, or, Wes Watson, or Andrew, who. Isn't it a shock when you go and actually look at how these guys and men actually live? It is quite the shock to realize that all of these men individually are losers. Myron has been caught several times on sugar baby websites offering to pay women to hang out with him. He has been caught several times, messaging girls who wanted to come on the podcast just for an interview. And then he's like, well, you can't come on the podcast if you're not going to sleep with me. The other guy, Fresh, got caught, sleeping with an escort who he almost got pregnant and tried to steal money from him. Wes Watson's newest girlfriend is somebody who's been caught on an escort website several times. And this guy acts like such an alpha. Then you have that guy recently from that Fugazi podcast, and then that other guy, Donovan Sharp, if anybody knows who that is, where they all went on rants about they hated single mothers, and then guess who they were married to? Single mothers. I know, crazy. Crazy as I swear to God, I've actually met somebody in real life. Like, I've always wondered, like, who actually consumes this type of content, and like, how does it get to that point? And I visibly saw like a guy that I was honestly good friends with slowly, start to idolize these people. In my opinion, where it all started is after a certain amount of times of getting rejected by the women that they think they deserve, they start to go and attack like the group of women, instead of looking internally and going, well, why are these women rejecting me? Because in their mind, it can never be them. It's that these women are superficial, disgusting, gold diggers, and blah, 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 whatever they want to say. I think to them, it's very important to go and cosplay as what they believe a man is. So they'll, buy very expensive things that they can't really afford. They want a woman who's, very, very attractive, even if they have to pay for it to walk around with them, because men, you can't be seen with a girl who's not a supermodel. I made a video about Fresh and Fit on my YouTube channel that had like 100 subscribers, and then Myron DM'd me asking to have a boxing match, and then like unsent the message and acted like it wasn't him, which he did to like 1,000 different creators. Like, to them, this is what men do, and it's very obvious that these men are very, very, very insecure. I had a friend who genuinely signed up for Wes Watson and Andrew who's course, and he is 23. He makes good money. He's not a bad looking guy. He's not somebody in my brain who I would have been like, oh, that's the type of losers who end up paying for these guys. A lot of these guys internally feel like they need to be taught how to be a man. Like, a part of them is very insecure about their masculinity, and I think they look at guys who have big muscles or make a bunch of money, and that's what they think a man is supposed to be. So then they almost literally need guidance from, their perception of what a guy is.
I think after a certain point, and honestly, I think it's taking a lot longer than I expected it, people started to see the hypocrisy in the red pill movement. A lot of these guys preach, oh yeah, all these 304s and you shouldn't associate with them. And then every single girl that Fresh and Fit or all these guys associate with, guess where they meet them? Clubs, escort websites, the exact place they tell you not to meet them. I'll tell you, don't go after single mothers. They're useless. They're disgusting. And then look who they date. And then these guys who give constant relationship advice on this is what you should be doing. And if a girl's single at 35, then something's completely wrong with her. And then they're single at 35. And then, but it's not their fault. Of course, it's not their fault. As much as I make the content that I do, and I know some people might even come across like I'm a part of the red pill movement and I'm such a huge fan of these guys, the difference is that my whole point is about holding accountability. It's not about men versus women or women versus men. It's about accountability. A lot of these guys who are giving advice to you guys about who you should and shouldn't be dating and the types of women and what you should do if they say this to you, a lot of the guys who are doing that, they themselves don't even take their own advice. Personal opinion, these guys have been outed, like each one of the red pill content creators have been outed so many times that at this point, if you still followed them after knowing that, Myron was on a website, paying women to hang out with him, and the DMs got leaked of him saying, you can't come on the show unless you sleep with me. Point here is whether you follow the Fresh and Fit podcast, Andrew, who, any of the alpha male, influencers. My whole point, all of these guys have been outed so many times for being, fake, for being hypocrites, for not being genuine people. And yet the guys will still follow them because at the end of the day, there's only two choices, which is ironic because they call themselves the red pill movement. They could either accept that they are most likely a cause of the routine problems that they're having or constantly victimize themselves and blame a whole entire demographic of women. I can't even act like I've never defended men on this app. Most of my videos is me defending men over entitled women, asking for crazy stuff when they're dating. The whole point here is you guys fall for the propaganda trap of, these guys inviting the world's dumbest, most materialistic and superficial, women in Miami and make it seem like those are the women you constantly are going to encounter. Those women are very, very obvious when you talk to them for the most part. Like they'll give it away that they suck within about 20 minutes of talking to them. If you don't want to associate with those women, then don't. But stop making yourself bitter and angry and stop taking advice from guys who literally have to pay women to be their wives. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
If you guys keep listening to the red pill community and this bullshit manosphere, you will never get women. They are making you bitter towards women, hateful, disrespectful towards women. How do you expect to get any women if you preach hate towards women? Understanding female nature is one thing, fellas. I agree. You have to understand the psychology of female nature. But if you don't have the game to back that up with experiences, with knowledge that when it comes to women, with your failures, your successes, that red pill, the female nature bullshit, it ain't gonna mean nothing, okay? You're not gonna be able to use that to your advantage. If you combine the game with female nature, that is powerful. That's how you get women, fellas. But you guys are doing it ass backwards. You want to learn about the red pill and the bullshit that they're preaching about female nature. It's a bunch of incels that hate women. That's all it is. They're teaching you guys to be fearful of women, to not get in relationships, to not date women, to not approach women. Oh, just focus on you, men going their own ways. This is how I know these guys get no women, because you don't understand the superpowers that certain high quality women have. You don't understand the value that they can add to your life. A good woman can influence a man without the need to be forceful. That is why high quality women are such a rare gem and commodity. But you have to learn how to attract those types of women. Not the women you see on the Fresh and Fit podcast or the whatever podcast or just pearly things. Those women are straight up basura. That's what they are. I don't mess with women like that. It gains mass views. That's why they have these women on these shows. But you don't learn shit about game or how to pick up women, how to approach women, how to date beautiful women, how to keep them in their feminine state, how to keep them loving you at all times. They don't teach you this shit, fellas. They teach you about the red pill because they know it gains mass followers. That's why. And you're being exploited by them disrespecting these women live on these podcasts, and you guys are falling for it. You guys are falling for it. They're all snakes in disguise. I want nothing to do with them. I don't even listen to that red pill bullshit anymore, fellas. I'm doing my own thing. I understand female nature. I understand the psychology of women. I have my own game that I learned with over 17 years of experience before any of this shit was even popular. But when you combine that game that you have with female nature and the psychology of women, you can never lose with women, fellas. That's why we're teaching you the real game. All those other podcasts with these bullshit hosts, they don't have game, fellas. They never got girls until they got a little bit of fame and status. That's not a ladies' man. That is a trick. That's what that is. I never needed fame and status to get any women. I understand the game and what women are attracted to. If you guys want to change your life and actually wake up next to beautiful women, start dating beautiful women and keeping them in a healthy relationship, listen to our podcast on Spotify. The link is in our link tree. It's called The Full Armor of Game with the Texting Prince. We break down the full game for you guys and we teach you the real game. Without hating women, without bashing women, without being disrespectful towards women. I'll agree there's a lot of low quality women out there. But once again, why are you dealing with those low quality women? I'm not inviting negative toxic energy within my life. I don't want that around my energy because I protect what's sacred to me. That is my spiritual energy. I'm only having positive, high quality women within my presence. If you don't want to learn how to attract those women, don't get my attraction course. Don't get my relationship course either. That ain't for you, bro. Go keep listening to these red pill podcasters and let me know how that works out for you. If I hate cats and I keep preaching about how dangerous cats are and that I should stay away from cats, I'm not going to get any cats, fellas. But if I love women and I'm preaching to you what a beautiful woman can bring to your life, obviously you are going to get women. I'm going to get women. That's what we are teaching here, fellas.
All right, so this one is for all the red pill alpha males out there, of whom I was one at one time. Those guys are lying to you. The red pill guys are lying to you, right? The guys who are telling you that you need to wait until you're 38 years old or 45 years old to start finding a wife because you need to peak in your sexual market value, because you need to make X amount of dollars before you meet that woman, or because you need to have a bunch of sexual experience, so you need to rotate a bunch of different women and have, 4 or 5 different plates spinning at one time. Those guys are lying to you. They are lying to you. They are trying to sell an idea that doesn't work. What you get out of that long term is not the fruits that you think. What you get is you practice what you play, right? So if you want to be a womanizer, right, that's fine. But when you do meet the woman who you want to be your wife, you have the habits that you had as a womanizer. If you want to be someone who has arrested development in your personal development because you've invested so much only in your professional development and only in the material, and you have not thought at all about the spiritual, then you're going to be someone who has arrested spiritual development. And when you realize that the fruits of this world do not actually bring you fulfillment, and now you're 40, right? Now you're 40, now you're 42, now you're 38. You're so late in the game that you haven't been able to develop those skills that someone who got married, who had kids, who actually invested in other people as opposed to just investing in themselves, was able to receive and ascertain. Marriage is and will always be one of the most tremendous blessings that you can achieve as a human, male or female. The issue is the world has one defined definition of what marriage is. It has taken marriage and dragged it through the mud, and instead of looking at it through the world's lens, you have to look at it through God's lens. And so I'm going to start talking a lot more about the blessings that I've received personally as it relates to marriage, both financially as well as spiritually. And I hope that can at least inspire some guys who are younger, who are battling with this idea of, is it even worth it to get married? To understand that it is. It is very much worth it to get married. The issue is identifying the right person and being the right person who is ready to take on that responsibility.
Husbands, if you don't get this, you're the problem. I am tired of hearing these red pill community men defend themselves by saying, I provide for you. Why can't you just be happy? As though that's all a man has to do for his woman. A real man doesn't just provide. He knows how to slow down and hold space for his wife's emotions. That's providing from the heart. Loving your wife well means honoring her emotions instead of rushing her to feel better. When she's down, it's not about fixing or pushing her forward, trying to nudge her to get over it. That's an insecurity on the man's part, believing that his peace is messed up because his wife isn't smiling all day. That's little boy energy. Ask if she needs anything. Hold space for her and remind her they're not alone. But don't, and I repeat, don't, try and logic your way into her mind by giving her a solution in these moments. Your wife just wants to feel the depth of her emotions. True love for your wife isn't about speeding up the healing process. It's about walking beside her through it.
Guys, I for one, I really commend these guys. Like, I upload them because it is so hard for men to take accountability, especially in this day and era. It is so hard, you know, but the fact that they were able to come out and, you know, express how red pill has, you know, actually affected them as men, like, I feel that is actually commendable. But I don't know what you guys think. Like, share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a video. Till next time, I remain Lisa. Peace and love. I love you. Bye.